Starting next year, Arizona will have two new laws on the books that change the rules around licensed professions. This past week, Governor Ducey signed a measure that removes cosmetology licensing requirements for people who only blow dry, shampoo, and style hair. The previous week, he signed a bill that makes it easier for licensed professionals from other states to move to Arizona and get their certifications here. Under the new legislation, Arizona will recognize licenses granted by other states as long as the applicant meets certain requirements. It's the first law of its kind in the country. We learn more from Jonathan Cooper, a reporter for the Associated Press in Phoenix. He spoke to us via Skype. Who are we talking about specifically when we're discussing whether or not someone is regulated, whether or not they have their licensing?
There's a whole class of professions that require a license to do your job in Arizona. They tend to be concentrated in construction, in real estate, financial services, medicine, dentistry. So we're talking about doctors, dentists, dental hygienists, nurses, real estate agents, appraisers, home inspectors, insurance agents, whole gamut of professions across the economy.
One of the arguments that we heard in the legislature this year is that somehow fewer regulations equate to lesser wages. In your reporting, has that been some of the argument you've heard about?
The Obama administration did a study in 2015 on occupational licensing, and one of their findings was that the licensing of various professions does raise wages because it keeps down the supply of providers. So one can assume that if you have more competition for in the labor market, that's going to put downward pressure on wages. I asked the governor about this. Governor Ducey said, he dismissed the idea that it would put any sort of downward pressure on wages. He says that Arizona is growing quickly, and that there's growing demand for these services, and so that'll make up for any sort of issues that you might have with the wages.
And just to be clear, these are not individuals who come to Arizona and haven't had an experience or licensing previously. These are people who have been certified in other states. They're just coming here to say, we'd like to continue our work in Arizona.
That's correct. Yeah, in order for this legislation to help you, you have to have a license from another state for at least a year, and during that time, you can't have any sort of disciplinary action against you. So, and one of the misconceptions about this is you still need an Arizona license. You're still going to have to, if you move here from another state and you have your cosmetology license, you can't just start practicing in Arizona. You're still going to have to get in touch with the cosmetology board, pay the licensing fees, and get licensed before you can do the work.
And if you have this licensing already in place, there are state agencies that sort of marshal your work. Any indication that those agencies, maybe the Better Business Bureau, for example, or the Department of Health, has said anything about this legislation thus far?
The legislative debate was pretty muted. The Better Business Bureau, which is they did not weigh in. The licensing boards, which are part of the executive branch of government, did not weigh in. So that's not necessarily surprising, given that it was a top priority for the governor.
In some circles, this has become a partisan issue. Based on your research, where does Arizona seem to fit when it comes to fewer regulations for professionals like these?
Arizona seems to be fairly average by my perusing what other states require as far as occupational license. One difference that we have is we don't license some of the trades like electricians and plumbers, and a lot of other states do. But as far as the professions that we do license here in Arizona, the training requirements, the testing requirements tend to be pretty average.
Is there an economic argument here? Could Arizona lose money because people aren't having to jump through the same hoops, perhaps?
The supporters of this really made the economic argument front and center. They see it as a boon to the economy. And there's kind of an interesting coalition of support for the idea that occupational licenses are bad for the economy and bad for individuals. On the left, on the right, you have conservatives and libertarians who say that requiring a license is a barrier to people's freedom and it's a barrier to work, and that the free market can take care of bad actors within that. And on the left, you have people who say that it keeps low-income people of color from climbing into the middle class. These are good, solid middle-class jobs, but if you have to get a year of training, you have to take on student loans to get that year of training. That's a real barrier to somebody being able to move up the the career ladder. So you hear a lot of the debate around this was around the idea that this will be good for the economy because people can move here and they can get to work and start paying taxes. That was certainly the argument we heard from the governor.
Jonathan Cooper joining us from Phoenix via Skype for the Associated Press. Thank you so much.
Thank you.